Okay, so let's get into this high estrogen, the signs. I want you to know the signs because, as you know, your estrogen is something you need to be aware of and keep in balance, because if your estrogen is too high, you are at risk for developing breast cancer and other reproductive cancers. So we gotta be on this, girl. Okay, so number one sign is going to be weight gain, especially around the hips, thighs, and abdomen. High estrogen can promote fat storage, particularly in these areas. So if you got some extra weight around your midsection, be on the lookout because that could be a big sign. The next one is going to be mood swings. Estrogen actually has a very strong effect on the brain. So elevated levels of estrogen can lead to mood swings, irritability, or feelings of anxiety or depression. It has been noted in lots of research, go look it up on NIH, that there is definitely a correlation between high estrogen and depression and anxiety disorders. So if you're in that category, be on the lookout. You could have high estrogen. Now, why is it important to know what estrogen is? So obviously, estrogen is the primary sex hormone for females, but it's also responsible for regulating other body functions that have nothing to do with our reproductive systems. So it also is going to have a big effect on your metabolism. Estrogen helps us a lot with our metabolism. So it is going to be natural to see some fluctuations around the menstrual cycle, obviously, or even if you're approaching menopause, but you still want to make sure they are at a comfortable level. Now, let's get back into some of the other really big signs you want to be on the lookout for. Heavy periods. If your period is heavy, meaning you are going through multiple tampons in a short amount of time, you are having lots of accidents, you are bleeding too much, and you're also anemic on top of it, your estrogen levels are too high and you are in the danger zone. The heavy period is the indicator of the danger zone because your estrogen is so high that it is causing your period to be heavier and longer. If you've got a 10-day period or even teetering at that 7-day period, that's too high. Your periods need to be 6 days or less, ideally 3. We do a 3-day period challenge here, part of my coaching, where we get our periods down to 3 days. You can do it, and you can do it naturally. Did you know that? Okay, so another thing. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's important. Welcome to Work It Lady Podcast, where it's time to put in the work regarding educating yourself on all areas of your health and well-being. At Work It Lady Podcast, we are dedicated to empowering women to take control of their health and mental well-being. Our mission is to provide women with the knowledge, inspiration, and tools needed to transform their lives, from improving nutrition and fitness, navigating womanhood, and if you're a mom, excelling at motherhood. Step 1, like this episode. Step 2, share it with someone you love, and even the haters, they need help too. Step 3, subscribe on podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, join our mailing list to stay in the loop on classes and events. I am so happy you made it here, girl. Thank you. That can cause you a lot of high estrogen levels. An indicator is going to be breast tenderness. If your breasts are tender all of the time, not just around your period, you have high estrogen to the point that it is getting into the danger zone. Your breasts should only be tender around your cycle, and not much, just a little bit. If it hurts to take off your bra, I remember that's something that my aunt would complain of. She's since passed away from breast cancer, but even as I can remember her when I was a little kid, and she was still a young woman. She might have been in just her 30s or even early 40s then. And she would be like, oh, every time I take off my bra, my boobs just hurt so bad. If your breasts are extremely tender all the time, if you bump into them or someone gives you a hug, they are tender. Or even just when you take off your bra and you just like, oh man, my breasts are just hurting all of the time, you are in danger. And I'm saying this pointedly because I really want to help people. Okay, you are in danger. My breasts used to be tender all the time. There is a reason for that will be addressed in the following episode that you'll see here on podcast, the one following right behind this one. It'll give you reasons for breast tenderness, heavy periods, all of these things. But in this episode, I want you to key in on the signs. So the signs are weight gain, mood swings, heavy periods, and breast tenderness. Let me say that one more again. Weight gain, mood swings, heavy periods, and breast tenderness. Those last two are the absolute most important that you want to be on the lookout for. Okay, so then now if you know that you have this raises the question like, oh snap, I'm in the danger zone. I got high estrogen. I'm not trying to get breast cancer. What can I do? The next episode will be on causes of high estrogen that you'll see right here, right after this episode. And then the next one after that, I am going to give you natural ways to reduce your estrogen if you are in this category. And even if you're not, you don't have to have all these symptoms. They're going to be good things for all women to do, whether you have these symptoms or not. And if you do them, you're kind of already in the green zone, which is where we want to be. Okay, so I hope you have found this information helpful. Share, like, subscribe, comment. I'm here for you in the comment section. Thanks. See you next time.